There is a groovy new tribe sending out a good vibe, giving us some serious truth. A woman staying alive, trying hard to survive, whilst offering some real facts and proof. In a tribe of many nations with skills from all vocations, we united with one true aim: to stop all the injustice, excuses we don't trust us, so we're bringing facts to change the game. We're a tribe of love and morals, with true freedom on our mind. No time for hate and anger, we want a life that can be kind. As a tribe we love nature, she's the key to our future, and together we weigh reality. For the balance shows the lies, and the logic opens eyes for those that are ready to see. For those that are blind, we try to help them find their way through the villains and snakes. We can all lend a hand, we can all make a stand, and reveal all the puppets and fakes. We're a tribe of love and morals, with true freedom on our mind. No time for hate and anger, we want a life that can be kind. They are just not prepared for the tribe of revelation. We are not backing down, we're causing a sensation. They cannot divide us, we're done with segregation. We are coming for the criminals who want depopulation. We will find them, we will bind them, we will lock them all away. Then we will hold the trials and give them their judgment day. True freedom on our mind. No time for hate and anger, we want a life that can be kind. We're a tribe of love and morals, with true freedom on our mind. No time for hate and anger, we want a life that can be kind.
Sorry. Do we have sound now? There we go, I think. Can you hear me, Annette? There we go. Sound okay? So, good morning, Annette. Hope you're doing good over there. I don't know who the 5 other people are. Apparently we're 5 viewers, but I only see you, so maybe it's the bots checking in on me. Who knows? Hey there, Tony Coriolis. How you doing? So I don't have much planned today. I just want to do the show in the morning, so the US have a chance to listen. Today I'm going to talk a little about the ether, because I think it's an important topic. I think you can tie most of the nonsense out there and conspiracies into the ether. I think it's a very overlooked topic, and one they have been trying to hide for as long as we know. So, and I experienced a lot about the ether lately, especially what I can manifest through my thoughts and my what do you call it, behavior, how I carry myself in life, directly connect to what I get back from the ether, the universe, God, whatever you want to call it. Um, I think we all been feeling it for a while. You know that there's something that we can connect to on a higher level. We have people calling it God, Jesus Christ, um, any God, any for that matter, and consciousness. We call it a lot of things. We call it the spirit realm, and today I'm going to give you a little. I'm going to give you my take on it. As you know, I'm not in the believer of the God as he is explained. I do believe that there is a creator of this world of some kind. I do believe that there are a higher, something higher than myself. I do believe that there's something that I'm supposed to do in this realm. So yeah. So I have a spiritual side, but I'm not a God-fearing man, if you want. And yeah, I just believe, I don't know. I believe a little of everything. Well, I've looked into most religions up to this date, and I can find some in all of them that I actually can connect to. It's Buddhism, Christianity, paganism, uh, even the smaller religions in the world. I can see something in, what do you call it? I can't remember, but there's a little one where the Gnostics. I can see bits and pieces in there that I like too. But the overall picture I can never connect to, because it's always it. No matter what religion I look into, it kind of makes me believe in that I have to worship. I have to worship this thing that's bigger than me. I have to kneel, and I have to be afraid of him of some kind. And that thing, I cannot do that. Hey there, Brenda Walker. Welcome. So in the end, I just wanna tell you that I believe in the ether. I believe the ether gives you back everything you put in it. I believe it's filled with everybody. I think we can call it the universe. The universe it's my version, it's your version, it's his version, and it's her version, and together we have a universion. Basically, I just think that's it. We all connected in this ether, and I think it's somehow got turned on in the last 15 years or something like that. I think it's been dormant, or we have been dormant, and we can't connect to each other as we used to. I think it used to be different, and I don't know exactly what happened, but I have some theories. One of them is that somehow turned it on. They could be spraying all the metals up there, and they couldn't electrify that, so they jump started somehow. That could be a thing, so in that you can put in chemtrails, you can put in CERN, you can put in HARP as factors that could activate what used to be the ether. I think it's still there, but it was on the low for the most of my life, and all of a sudden I feel it very differently. Maybe another theory is that it's based on awareness. The more you're aware of it, existence, the more it works. And that could be a thing too, but I don't know. And I think that's very important to know that you don't know shit. So, yeah. So, mm, all the cell phone frequency also and Wi-Fi interferences. Yes, that could definitely have something to do with it. But it turn and flip it on the head too. That could be also just be the activation. That could be the amplifier of people into the ether that actually makes it work. For all we know, that those towers could be two-way traffic. It doesn't have to be one-way traffic. It can also amplify you into the ether, and I think I think that is something that needs to be looked into. Especially there comes more and more cables on those cell towers, so that could be cables that's leading your personality, your doing on your phone back into the ether. So yeah, that's another thing. They try to disconnect us through so many ways. Yeah, they do. But at the same time, they're dividing us by so many other things because we are connected now. I think they know that this thing either activated by itself or they activated it, or there is some kind of awakening going on. So people are evacuating themselves somehow. So if you see it in that light, they fear that you all of a sudden is going to have this bright idea that, oh shit, if I just say it out loud and mean it, I can get it. You know, you can manifest a lot of things in this world. I found out this, well, within the last 5 years. It really took a turn after Corona. I started noticing that the way I was the way I got back, especially socially from people. If I was out there screaming like a maniac, I was treated like a maniac. If I was out there grumpy all morning, nobody would talk to me. If I was happy and in a good mood and instigated with people, all of a sudden everybody want to talk to me. So that way I kind of started noticing that my mood, my doing in this world came straight back to me. And yeah, so they are trying to, I think they're trying to divide us because they're afraid that we wake up and we get connected. If we find out how the ether works, they're pretty much fucked, then we can do whatever we want, really. And of course, they know it exists, so they use it, and they use it for the propaganda and all that. I think there's also more in this world that's not just media and social media. I think it's also there's a lot of preliminary messages out there, and especially do I feel it if I sometimes I get stuck on YouTube and other places just looking, and I can see all of a sudden I'm looking at stuff I'm normally not looking at, and the moment I get aware of it, I say, what the fuck am I watching? Why am I watching this? And I shut off YouTube and I do something else, then it goes away. If I put on, here's the thing, if I put on something that I used to care about, theories, you know, then I might get 2 videos of conspiracy theories, and then it start telling me how great space is. you know, that's that's usually how it goes. Then I f- I lie down, and all of a sudden I fall asleep, and find myself listening to something about space, and I wake up and they got me. So, but the more you're aware of what you're doing, the less effect that side has of you. So that's something I'm working on. I'm working on cutting as much of it out of my life. Right now, I'm trying to cut the cell phone back out of my life. I had it. No, not the cell phone, the smartphone. Um, I used to not use a smartphone. I had a little cell phone instead, just with the numbers on it, and I want to go back to that. So right now, I'm taking what you call the slow approach. I just stopped using stuff on the phone. So now I'm at a point now where I use my phone for getting my ticket for the train and paying for my food at work. So I bring my phone, but the moment I get to work, I shut it off and I put it in my jacket, and I only pick it up when I need it for lunch and when I go home. So, but this month I'm gonna do a little more. I'm gonna start getting cash so I don't have to turn it on in lost time, and all that. So I used to do all that, but somehow when I was traveling, I traveled a lot the last few years. The smartphone is a convenient tool. I used it for a lot of things. So yeah, got to get that out of the system again. A little announcement for the future. Uh, Everybody is expecting a fight this month. That's not going to happen. I got a new opportunity in life. I can't tell you exactly where I'm going yet because it's kind of a secret, but I can say that it will be in Russia. I will go to Russia November 1st if everything gets settled. And I will be 6 weeks in an undisclosed place in Russia where I'm going to show you some exciting stuff. So, yeah, basically, I got an opportunity to do something that's kind of big for me. It's training wise. I'm gonna learn wrestling by some of the biggest coaches in this world. So, and it's a place you normally can't go as a westerling unless you know somebody that knows a lot that can take care of you when you get over there. But I was so lucky that the owner of my gym has contacts to a big name. I can't say who it is. He's a world champion in the UFC. He has contacts to his coach, and they set up that I can go over there to this undisclosed place and train. The reason it's a secret is because they say no to a lot of people. So I can't be sitting here and tell you that I'm going there. So it's a big thing. It's like going to it's like going to Tibet in a big monastery up there and get inside and live within that culture. It's the same thing. It's that big. So I'm really excited. I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, that was a little side note. So I'm gonna be working towards that. My fight is off. We turned down the fight, and we're gonna put up a fight in January or February instead. So hopefully I come back in a lot better shape than I am now. I think it's was a good idea anyway, because my guns are not totally developed yet, but uh, over there they will be. It's a pretty rough environment. I'm going to train 5 days a week, as I understand, 2 times a day, 4 hours training every day, 5 days a week. So, yeah, a little update on my sport. So, back to the ether. Let me have a sip of this coffee. I think it's very important to understand, especially if you are a person that's has awakened from a slumber. If you want, my big awakening was in 2015. That was the time my life really took a turn. I've been into conspiracies since 2003. Started out with the towers, and basically worked my way back from there, all the way back to the assassination and the war and stuff like that. And then I went back to chemtrails, and from there I entered the flat Earth community. And when I was, as I say, most people don't like it. I'm done with the flat Earth. It's like I know enough. I know it's bullshit. I don't know how it looks. And I don't want to talk it to death. But it's a done chapter of my life, and it took a lot of my life. It took my life from 2015 to 2020. That was all that was in my life, and that changed my behavior as well. All of a sudden I couldn't hear people talking about space or wearing a NASA shirt. I have to say something. I was this nagging person, and people started treating me that way, and the moment I let it go, the moment I said, fuck this shit, I am not that, I know what I believe in, but I don't have to go around spew it. I don't have to be this nagging idiot. So I kind of just let go of the flat Earth. I said, you know what? Fuck it. These people aren't listening anyway. All it's doing is it's making me angry, So I stopped, and all of a sudden, things changed. Really changed. Everybody was connecting to me on a whole other level. Even people I normally exclude, that I don't want to talk to, started talking to me again. And it's all about my behavior. I think what you put back out there in the ether is what you're gonna get back. Of course, that didn't last long. We had the big 2020 thing, and wow, I have to do something about that. We can't have that. And all of a sudden, I thought that I had something that people could actually see. The moment I saw the big deception, I said, there's no way this is going to go quiet into the night. Everybody can see this. So I went back in the street and I started yelling, "Whoa, do you know who Klaus Schwab is? Do you know the Economic Forum? Do you know that Kary Mullis has been talking about the test he made back in '93 and got a Nobel Prize for it?" And I was the exact same guy as I was when I was flat Earth, just a new topic, because I thought it was important. And of course it was important, but I think we need to understand that doesn't help us at all. I think it's very important to understand that everybody is on their own journey. Everybody got to take that step into the rabbit hole by themselves. That you can't be pushed in there. You just need to relax. And if you love people, if there's people you care about, just support them. And if they want answers, give them the answers they need, and just the answers they need. Don't push people into this bucket of conspiracies, because most people are not ready for it. You know, Y- you can't, as they say, you can lead the horse to water, but you can't force it to drink. You know, but there's also a saying that you can't pour water from an empty cup. So if you're not in balance, how is any information you're going to give people be in balance? So I think we need to calm the fuck down as a community, uh, and just help being a beacon. That's what I call it. Being a beacon, go out there and be certain in yourself and your beliefs. And if people want to know, they're going to get it. If people ask me if I think the earth is flat, I'm going to say yes, but I'm not going to start rambling, about Coriolis and parallax and some of the stuff that they don't get anyway. They'll never get it. If so, I think it's very important to understand that you're only hurting yourself the moment you let that side take over. Everybody's on their own path. You need everybody to let them find their own way in life. You can't force this on people. And it's the same thing with religion. You can't force that on people either. People either have a connection with the creator or they don't. You can't force that. And I think even if you could, it would be a bad thing. So I'm done preaching, but I want to still get out there and see if I can do something. So from this day on, every time I go out in the streets, I'm going to bring a camera, and I'm going to ask people some questions sometimes, So yeah, I don't know how I'm going to do that yet, but I want to make something special with the people out there. But basically, you have to see it this way. We have had, for me, it's more than 20 years now. It's like 22 years of something. I've been down this rabbit hole, and I got 22 years to understand that all this bullshit is not reality, And so you over 22 years, I've collected this big well of information, and all of a sudden, I take this other dude over here and I grab him by the neck and I stuff his head in it. You can't expect that people can understand that what we have learned over the last 22 years. He's not going to get that in 5 minutes, all day, all week. It's not going to happen. His mind is just going to shut down and say, that can't be right. Because if he's right, I just wasted my entire life, So yeah. Welcome, Mary. Is there anybody I'm missing? So, well, I see 3 or 4 people, but there's been 9 or 10 all the way. So I guess we got some lurkers in there. That's cool. Everything is welcome. So I believe that there is a thing around us, a little fog that we can't see, that picks up everything. And I even think that all the thing that we call spiritual realm is also in there. It could be everything, a living thing from the past, how many years? Thousands, millions of years, connected, collected in this. Because think about it, where does all these people, all these nitwits they call scientists, where do they get their ideas from? You know, I've seen a lot of scientists uh, online and in real life, and you know what? They're good with numbers, they're good with order, they're good with structure. But other than that, they're not really smart. They don't seem smart to me at all. You know, they just seem dedicated to what they do. And I have no belief in that these people are smart enough to come up with these ideas that we have these days. Have you seen the amazing stuff we have that we misuse a lot? you know, uh, I don't believe they somehow invented that. I don't believe this last 3, 4 generations simply is smart enough to figure this shit out by themselves. So they pulled it from somewhere. Whether they pulled it out of a pyramid or they dug it out of the sand somewhere, and I don't know. But it could also be that they just knew how to connect to the ether where all the information is just floating around. Because look at it this way, we have YouTube, we have a lot of social medias out there where everybody's uploading to, you know? And if they want the whole information of this generation, you know, before they call us, you know, the best way was just to open up a thing like this where everybody can put a bits and pieces of themselves up and knowledge and skills and collect it all and send it back to the ether, and it will be there forever. So when they got everything they need, we are no longer needed, you know, and everything is going in that direction. Everything, there's no reason, if you're getting more and more people in this world, there's no reason to replace them with machines. And that is also a thing they're doing. No reason at all. Actually, that's pretty stupid. You know, if everything is is mechanized, you know, and there's no room for human work labor, what are we gonna do? We're just gonna sit on the couch all day? You know, I don't believe that's how the creator, or what you want to call it, have in store for us. I don't. I think we're supposed to work for ourselves and our surroundings, just like we did in the old days. Work the fields and interact with each other, you know. But I think we have to be very wary about what's going on right now. I don't think the world is gonna end. So let's get that notion out of our head. You know, I see people scream fire every 6 months. And I was one of those guys a couple of years ago. But when we do that, we hurt ourselves. Stop believing that the world is gonna end in a minute, or have this anxiety about things you can't change anyway, because what are you getting out of it? Aggravation, angry, you know? Stop listening to stupid people you can't change anyway. And I'm not only talking about conspiracies. There's people out there everyday life that I just don't want to spend my energy on. I had a coach I've told this story before, but I had a coach once when I played soccer. I got kicked out of the game, and he laid his arm around me and he said, "Brian," I said, "Yeah, I know, but the judge was an idiot." And he says, "Yeah, he was pretty stupid. But there, there will be stupid people no matter where you go. No matter where you go in this world, there will be stupid people, I promise you. And if you spend all your energy on the stupid people, you won't have enough for the ones you really care about. And that is a message that I've taken with me, and I use it to this day. Um, you just have to stop spending energy on people that you don't really care about, you know, because that is energy you take away from the people you do care about. So, so that is kind of my mantra in all of this. There's only you only have this so much energy. Your bucket is only that big, and if you spend it wrong, you're gonna turn your ugly side to the people you do care about. So, yeah. Yeah, the all right, the 3AI Atlas thing, yeah, and they're not even making it fear mongering. It's like, oh, it could be intelligent. How exciting! Ray. uh, no, and even if it is something, you can't do shit about it. So you should stop worrying about it. I saw it when I came home from the United States. I saw the 3A Atlas thing, and I just giggled. I said, "Yeah, of course, it's that time of year, you know." But what was it I was trying to say? I think you have to be very wary of how you conduct yourself out there in the world. And I think it's very important that you have found yourself. I've been talking to Death about this, finding yourself, knowing yourself, and get in balance, get things right with yourself. And the moment you do that, you don't have to, the moment you're comfortable and you trust yourself, you don't have to be this machine that goes around being angry all the time and aggravated and uh, yeah, I don't have the right word for it right now, but you get what I'm saying. Happy thoughts create happy thoughts, you know. Curious thoughts create curious, you know. So, and but you have to see it. That's what I experienced. You know, you have to be aware of it, and it's definitely gonna give you back what you put in it. From there, you can draw your own conclusion. But I, I, I can't say this enough. You know, I experienced it a lot, and now I see it everywhere, um, and I use it in everyday life. I use it when I train. I visualizing when I on my way from my work until the gym. I start visualizing what am I gonna do today. Uh, can I expect today? What am I teaching today? Because I'm also teaching. And the moment I visualize it, everything just gets better. Uh, when I visualize, and I'm not only saying, okay, today I'm gonna teach a throw by, and I'm gonna teach an arm drag or something like that. Instead, I visualize inside my head how I'm going to show it. I even visualize who's at training that day. You know, I think we'll be 8 or 10 people, and I think it will be about these normal people, and we have a couple in from the MMA and stuff like that. And I visualize my of a better lack of a better word, my future. What's going to happen in an hour? I visualize that in my head, and it really works. You know, I had people come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you just I don't know, did you take a course or something?" Because all of a sudden they feel like I'm a lot better teacher than I used to be. So because I think it's because I have all the answers. The moment you're visualizing, you're getting your answers back from this ether. And so when they ask me something, you know, that I normally have to think about, I got the answer right there, you know. So I don't know how that works exactly, but I know it exists. And I know for a fact that they don't want us to know about it because they made a big thing about it back in the days with the experiments, the Morley and Michelson experiments, and Einstein was involved with the ether as well. And they made a big thing about shutting that down, and so yeah, it's definitely something everybody should look into, especially if you are awake. If you see yourself as awake, you got to turn down the news and you got to turn up the ether, because the ether, I think, is the only thing right now, maybe, I'm not sure, that's not lying to you, you know. But that could be what they're working on, you know. Maybe they want to control the ether. And that's what all the spraying is going about. That is what they're sending out there from HARP and stuff. They're trying to control the ether. If you control the ether, you control mankind. So, yeah. Hey there, fathead. Good to see you, brother. That's kind of my rant today. If you have something to say it. You can ask your question in chat, and I'll throw out the link. You can come up on panel and say it. But I don't know. Did that work at all? No, you didn't miss it. Fathead, I'm still here. I'm here for, well, at least half an hour still. It's not going to be a long show today because I need to go to work, be a good little slave. That's how it is. What is that? Rune, the guitarist in Norway, was saying the same thing last night. Don't be a doomsayer. Spread positivity. I think you all in Scandinavia are very grounded, and I appreciate it. Yeah, we are very grounded up here. Some maybe too grounded. They're stuck like good little sheep. But yeah, we have another mentality up here, for good and bad. So it's not all just hunky dory up here. I have a lot of people that's going the wrong way. They're getting stupefied every day that's going on. Yeah. I know. But you know what? Without doing a little for the man, I don't get here to talk to you guys. That's just how it works. Um, so yeah, anything, any questions is allowed. You can ask me anything. You can ask me about my life. You can ask me about my martial arts. You can ask me about conspiracies, and I'll give you my take on it. Everything is on the table today. Normally, I don't talk much about conspiracies, but I am in a good mood and I have surplus. And that's another thing. If you don't have surplus, hide that shit away. You know, you can only give away what you can spare. As I said earlier, you only have, link is not working. Mm. Let me check that out. I don't know. Was that the same one? It's the same one. I don't know. I'm doing what I'm normally do. I don't know why it doesn't work. Let me do this myself. Yeah, I can get in. Oh, there we go. Somebody just popped in. Oh, there we go. It's Mary.
Somebody just popped in.
How you doing,
How you
Mary?
doing, Mary? All right.
Hey, Brian.
Hey,
Hey,
Hi,
I can
I
hear
everybody.
can hear
myself in the
myself in
other
the other.
Yeah.
Could you
Hi.
turn down the speakers maybe a little? Oh, there
Yes.
we go. It's gone. It's gone. It's fine.
I don't want to be too loud.
No,
Is
no,
that
no.
better?
You can be loud. I just don't want to hear myself in an echo. So
Yeah,
you can be all the loud you want.
yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I was this man named Rune did a live stream last night. Oh my goodness. He was
Hmm.
up till 9 a.m. his time, but he plays a lot of music, and then that's with Indy, who's on Algo's stream a lot. Indy
Okay.
is a good friend of his, and she was there too. And towards 4 a.m. my time, Eastern, he was improvising and talking just like you're doing now. And what he was saying is so much like what you're saying. And while I really, really tried to focus on getting outside, being in the dirt, gardening, because that's where I can find some peace and get away from the
Yes,
bad
definitely.
news, right?
Definitely, nature is the big equalizer.
Yeah,
Definitely.
it helps me. And but he was saying many of the same things that you say too. And I
Okay.
just yeah, I really appreciate that. I know not everybody in Scandinavia's got it together or is grounded, but I think we're very lucky to have the two of you in our community.
Yeah, I don't know who Rune is, but maybe you
Rune.
can send me a link.
Oh yeah, let me see if I can find it, and I will. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, um, I think we are very grounded in Scandinavia. I just think there's a lot of Scandinavians that use it the wrong way. You know, they use it to just be complacent instead of using it to be aware. You know,
Yeah.
so that's
I,
kind of a problem. But there's problems in any situation. You know, so nothing is hunky dory these days. But yeah, we are very grounded. Scandinavians are grounded people.
I think when you live in a very cold climate, uh, that has a lot to do with it. I think that you
Yeah, and
know.
we always had a thing for nature. You know, it's very common in my country to take the bicycle instead of the car. You know, if you every Danish person that goes to the U.S. is very horrified on how you use your car for everything. You know, that's kind of a thing. Everybody comes home and say, you know what? They take their car and they go to the grocery stores 200 yards that way. Isn't
Yeah,
that insane?
I agree.
Yeah. So in Denmark, there's a tradition for walking. There's a tradition for bicycling. We are not in a rush in the same way. We kind of getting there now. It seemed like we're starting to forget it, but yes, we are definitely more relaxed than many other places. So, but I've seen other places that's too relaxed. My biggest example is Italy and Greece. You know, they're going in the other direction of the spectrum, where complacency is really hurting them. You know, they're lazy. To say it out loud, they're very lazy, and they don't get the shit done, and you can see it in the community and the sidewalks and everything. And they say, "Oh yeah, but we don't have enough money to fix them." Yeah, because you have a system, you know, that promotes laziness. You know, so I've seen Italian. I worked at a construction site at the freeway in Italy for 2 weeks when I was traveling, and they didn't work when it was more than 30 degrees Celsius. That's like, I don't know, 80, 85. You know, so if it's more than 80 degrees in Italy, they don't work outside. I was like, what? You know that's 7 months a year, right?
Wow.
It's 30 degrees half a year in Italy, you know, and you can't work. No, they need air conditioning. So they were basically just sitting in the trailer playing cards where there was air conditioning, and the loser of the card game went to the excavator because it had air conditioning. But they basically don't went outside. I was working all day, and when the boss came in his big Mercedes, I was like, "Oh, here we go. Now they're gonna get their ass in trouble." And he went inside. 20 minutes went by, and I went down there. But you know what? Lo and behold, he was just sitting there playing cards with them. So it's kind of a normal thing, you know. So
And I noticed that when I saw a video recently about what's going on at Mount Etna and the town underneath, the old city, the old town, and everybody's just like not paying attention. You know, the thing has a big crack now coming down it, and I guess they just figure they'll stay there and ignore it. I don't know. I thought it was kind of weird.
yeah, basically, it's just. I think it's very important to just realize that reality is reality made by you. You know, I think you have to stop changing other people's reality and start living your own reality. The moment you do that, people will see you and they will see your reality, and that's much better than preaching, you know. So
Yes, I agree. I mean, I he told a story this morning or last night, whatever, how somebody came up to him and said, "You know, why are you always talking about all this horrible stuff? People don't want to hear it." And he said it made me think, and I changed, and I said I can relate to that because I used to. I mean, I spent a whole year last year focused on AI, and I just I tried to tell people, but they just didn't really want to know. Plus, it made me crazy. So I just got in the garden this summer and just tried to correct my behavior too and try to be more positive rather than
yeah.
constantly being upset.
And what if AI just is the ether? It could be.
Well, that's interesting. Could be. But I mean, there's a lot of scientific research
Because
going
it seems like it has all the information just by ear, you know, even information, you know, that you can't find out there. I've tried sometimes, you know, when I got something from AI, you know, and I Google it and I search it and I try to find something about it. It seems like it's not out there. The information seems like it was pulled out of thin air, you know. So either the AI is making shit up, you know, or maybe there's more information. It gets the information not from a server, but from the ether itself. So I think that's a possibility.
Do you do you, do you know that there are now I'm going to break my commitment to not talk about anything disturbing for one moment, but we have an awful lot of human beings that have already augmented themselves. And I think this is a lot of the problem with our politicians and all those
Mhm.
puppets that are under control. But they have already augmented themselves, and now you look and see that their thinking is just not even logical to every or like the way how most of us have thought and processed information all of our lives. It just doesn't make sense, you know. I mean, there are conferences in Milan, Italy, and Abu Dhabi the past 2 years, big conferences for transhumanists, and they go there and they play little games and do little things like get into each other's head and read each other's minds, and all the technology, all of the science and white papers for it are all documented, so it's really happening. But who are these people that are augmenting themselves, and what control do they really have over themselves anymore once they do
How
these
do you know
different?
it's people?
How do I know it's people?
Hmm.
How do I know it? How do I know people are upgrading themselves to transhumanism?
What if there's only like 2 million people in this world, real human beings, and the rest is just made in a lab, non-playing characters?
Well, I think there's more than 200 of us left, but I think that's I don't know. That's an interesting thing. Um, that's why I am really drawn to Atmavichara and
Why would
Advaita.
you? Why would you have a Georgia Guidestone that says keep the population within 500,000?
Well, I would assume.
Would you assume that they're trying to kill 95% of us?
Well, that seems pretty obvious, right?
Yeah. Or there's under 500,000 people in real people in this world, and the rest is grown in a lab.
Well, that could be. That could be.
You never know.
That could be. I'll think about that.
Maybe they're switching us out one by one. So maybe because we've seen a lot of, what do you call it, dying doing through the 2020 to 2025, you know, and yet they're still saying that we are more people than we was in 2020. So what if they're silently letting a lot of drones out there, droids, whatever you want to call them, clones?
Even people I know who are heavily uh, boosted have changed their personalities. I have noticed that. It's some of them. Some of them seem quite very different. People I've known for 10, 20 years, quite
Yeah.
changed.
I don't think I'm not talking about those people. I don't think they're changing those people out with drones, but I think they might have they have a number. We just cold. We just killed 100,000 people, let's say. So we pop 100,000 drones out there, you know.
Wow, that's
That's,
interesting.
yeah. So the population is the same, even though people are dying.
The comfort I get comes from the old Indian teachings about really all of this reality is just like the allegory of the cave. It's not real. We're watching it, but unless we somehow spend a little bit of time every day in silence, just
But in the end, what is real? What is real for you is when you determine that it's real. You know, you need to take ownership. I believe this is real. Now it becomes reality for you. That it's not necessarily reality for everybody else, but it's now your reality. And I think there's a fine line between creating your reality and just visualizing your reality. Uh, I lost my thread right there, but I think reality is what you make it, and you can change that and at any given time, but you have to be aware of that mechanism you're using to change your reality.
yes, I agree.
So, yeah,
I
I think
agree.
it's very hard to push your reality on other people. I think it's wrong, and I think you should. The more honest you are with yourself, the better this system works. The moment you try to pretend that you're something you're not, and I see a lot of those, even in the conspiracy communities, even in truth communities, I see a lot of people that used to have their own reality now picked up on other people's reality, and their reality got clouded again because they started looking for information in a lot of other people. I think we have a lot of debates and talks out there that are changing people in a bad way. So, yeah, not
Well, I,
necessarily helping ourselves, talking within ourselves. I think we need to talk to everybody else. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I agree. I agree. I've been this way since I was a child, though. These kind of, I doubted reality and really strongly doubted it.
Yeah. But if you see it this way, if you're creating your reality, there's no reason to doubt it because it's your reality.
Correct. Yeah, it's not everybody else's, and that's fine
Yep.
because I, 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 I certainly appreciate, um, I appreciate that I'm not alone in silence, or I love connecting with people.
Yeah.
I don't want to turn anybody off or judge anyone.
I think it's all right to judge, but it should still be for you. The moment you're judging somebody to somebody else, that's where it became wrong. I judge people every day, but I don't run around saying to everybody. I just silently say what I think about this guy to myself. So I don't think there's anything wrong in judging people. Just don't make a big thing out of it.
Yeah, yeah. Do you think I do that? I mean, you've heard me speak a
No,
couple times.
no.
I'll be more careful. I really, I'm very sensitive to people's belief about their reality and about creation and the ideas of God and the different belief systems. I'm very sensitive to that. And I don't like anybody pushing their beliefs on me. I can't
No,
stand that.
no, and I think it's very. I don't know how to say that, but it's it's a thing now when we get in our little pocket and our little garden where everything we know is inside. We don't want anybody to tell us that that is different. You know, we don't want anybody to come in our garden and tell us where to plant our flowers. We don't like that. You know, but if we saw their garden and saw how they did things, we might get inspired to go home and do something similar in our garden. You know,
Yes.
I think that works better. That's how it should be. If you show people what you got, it's better than telling people what you want, you know, or what they should do.
It's a little hard to show
No, it's not.
on the internet. A little, well, maybe
You don't
not.
have, no, you don't have, you just be yourself. That's it.
Okay.
That's it. It's very simple. You know yourself, you trust yourself, and you show yourself, and people can either like it or not. And here's the beauty of it: if they don't like you for you, the true you, there's no reason you're connecting with them in the first place.
I agree.
So it's a win-win situation, really.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
But the key word is that you know who you are. That is the key factor here. You know to know who you are and what you believe in at this moment. And if you look at the spectrum you're believing from, you see all of this is just information, and some have more information on a topic than other people. But if all your information is within these two poles, I have the extreme right and I have the extreme left. Now I have a spectrum of information. Now I can use my determination on where I put the needle on this spectrum. That is where I am. This is me. I'm right here. But all of a sudden, I get a lot of information, and this spectrum gets wider. I get more knowledge, and all of a sudden, this needle is not right no more. I have to move it a little right. So I think being able to change opinion, being able to change your beliefs is very important. Have a open mind that can move that needle. So take all the information in and use that little gut feeling. And if you do that at all times, then you will present yourself as the true you. Then you will know yourself. But if you start getting stuck somewhere because people you're watching or people you're around is that way, then you get stuck and your needle is kind of stuck right there. I see it a lot in America, so now I'm going to be careful what I'm saying, but I see a lot of people in America that are stuck on left or right, you know, political. So they built their whole identity, whether they're Republicans or Democrats, and they're not able to move because now they have implemented themselves and their family with this is how I am, and nothing in this world can change it. This is my ID, and now you can't move. They won't move. So I think that's very important. You have to be able to change your perception and your beliefs at any given moment based on the information you have in that moment.
100%. Yeah, I agree. And it's okay to change. It's okay to be mistaken. It's okay to be wrong. If
It's,
you, if
it's
you
a
find,
very important thing.
yeah,
That's why you learn. I teach my student that all the time. I say, when they say, I'm afraid to go to a tournament because I'm afraid I'm going to lose. I'm like, what? No, that's not how it works. That's why you learn shit. You're going to a tournament to lose. You don't go to a tournament to win. When you're winning, you're using the knowledge you already know. You're not learning shit. You're just gonna sit on your way back on the bus, and you're gonna go on Facebook or some other social media and post pictures with your gold medal and be happy and look at all the good comments downstairs, and that's your winning. That's when you're winning. But when you're losing, you're gonna sit on the way on that bus and you're gonna think about what went wrong and how you could have done better and how you're gonna work on it on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So when you fail, that's actually where you gain new information. When you're winning, you're using the information you already have. So losing and failing is a big part of life.
I love listening to what you have to say. It's helped me over the years.
I'm
I've
glad.
learned a lot.
And you know why? Because it's me. You know, I'm not trying to give you information that I'm pulling out of the system. I created my own opinions and it resonates with people. And either you agree or you don't. It's all fine. But I'm still gonna be me. And I think that's the important part of it.
Yep.
And I learned to calm my ass down. I learned to trust myself. Back from 2015 to 2022, 3, you know, I didn't trust myself. I was still clinging on to information I got online, and changing my opinions from the information I got online. I didn't process it right in my head. So that's what's happened since that time. The last 2 3 years, it's been very apparent to me that I have developed this sense to create my own thoughts. What I believe is real. I don't need anybody to tell me. I just need you to give me the information, and I make the determination myself. I don't run with anything.
It's excellent. I mean, you broke me out of a solid year of 18 hours a day researching AI when we talked about getting in shape. And I had become
I remember.
so sedentary of just blue light and screen and research that you made me get up and get moving and get strong, use my muscles, walk, use my back, my arms. And you were the motivating factor. I really appreciate it.
Glad.
Thank you.
I remember my exact words was just do it. Don't wait, just do it.
Yep.
You know why I know that? Because that's what I tell everybody. That's me. That's my opinion.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
And that's the whole point. If you know who you are, it resonates with the people that are listening. You might not need the information, but in that moment you needed that information and it resonated with you. You know?
You motivated me.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think we are too in this world of instant gratification. We're kind of too stuck on this feedback loop that we need an opinion attached to our personality somehow. We need that feedback that what we're doing is all right. We need confirmation of our existence. And I think that's very wrong. Just trust in yourself and what you are. And people can like you for it or don't. And either way, you get what you want. That's why I'm happy having 200 subscribers. I love that because those 200 is here because they want to listen to the shit I have to say. you know and those who are not here, the other many millions, they don't wish to be here or don't know I'm here, and it's perfectly fine. I only want the people who wants to be here anyway, so it's a win-win situation. Hey there, Eric. Good to see you. And hey there, Callum. Good to see you, brother. So yeah, so that's kind of my thing. I'm these days. I'm very aware of whether what I'm putting out there is really me. Even when I do a stream like this, in a couple of days, I'm gonna lay down when I'm about to sleep, and I'm gonna listen back to my stream, and I'm gonna see, uh, and I'm gonna hear if there's moments in this stream where I'm not myself, where I pick something out of the air. So yeah, especially because I'm speaking English, sometimes I express myself very badly.
I don't think so.
No, but I hear it when I say it. Sometimes, oh shit, I didn't get to say that as I wanted, because there was a language barrier.
Oh, well, I haven't noticed it.
No,
But
but I do because I
yeah,
know me better than you.
right, right, right. Well, I just really appreciate the way you share. And you don't say it in a condescending way. I think here, I have a feeling, and it keeps coming back to me, that here in America, we are woefully um, non thinking. We have just been so relaxed about everything's always going to be the same, everything's just going along.
Yeah, yeah, you're
And,
right.
and it's a disability. And now everyone feels very scared. They feel panicked. They feel, well, I have to do something. What am I going to do? What are we going to do? They're scared. And that only adds to confusion. And it's like we're more children, or not as mature, not as um,
Yeah,
our
I
perspective is much more limited.
I see a lot of complacent people in the United States. That was one of the big issues I had. You settle for what you got, and you don't you have a tendency not to see everything as a whole. You are many Americans. I don't think it's always been like this, but that's what I see now. Many Americans is just looking out for themselves and their owns, and yeah, you don't really care much about what's happening on the other side of the country. So I think that's a big thing. That's one of the things we still have here. We still we are unified, but we're also a small country, so it's much easier, you know. But I think that's what's lagging in the U.S. Taking ownership that you are 52 states of the same country, you know, or 50. I never know, but you are a lot of states in the United States as a country. You need to see this whole thing as a country, instead of just your own little state or county. And yeah, that's how they divided you.
Interesting. And if anybody else wants to come on and talk to Brian, just go to the link. And I'm I don't want to
Mm.
hog up your time.
So far, there's nobody. I'm gonna put it out again. If I don't know how to pin that shit, but
You did.
I'm just gonna pump it out there once in a while. Anybody's welcome. Anybody with questions or just something to say. So yeah, So it's not just me rambling. We don't want to make this my reality.
or mine.
So how you been?
Are you talking to me?
Yep.
Um, I guess I'm doing pretty well. I just get up every day and do what I can and try to do better and do more. Another thing I've been feeling is that because I was born in DC and I've grown up pretty much on the East Coast or very close to DC for many, many years,
Hmm.
there's another sort of concern of I've lived in an area where there are people from all over the world. And I try to pay attention to what's going on around the world, but I've never traveled out of the United States except to like the Caribbean. I had a time down there, but I didn't really. It's not like I'm European or Asian. I don't know different languages. I'm very limited in my impression of what the world really is. But I have felt a great deal of anxiety about the way my country has had so much negative influence on the rest of the world. I carry that with me, and
Yeah, but that's not your country's fault. That's the rest of the world's fault.
how do you see that?
Just because your neighbor doing something stupid, there's no reason for you to do it. We choose. We choose to do it the American way, basically.
Huh?
You can't blame that on America. You only blame on those who imitate America.
Huh? Interesting. Never thought of that. But our this our force, our our
Your military,
yeah,
yeah.
always going into other countries and deposing people and
I
basically
think I think that is just a big part of the system. I don't think I don't believe in borders. I don't believe there's something really called the United States or Denmark or anything. I think we're all in booth of the same system. It's just another way of division, and you always need a villain to do your dirty work. You always need that scapegoat, and the rest of the world just made America that scapegoat.
interesting. I never thought of it like that. Wow. I've always felt guilty.
Have you ever noticed that every time a dog bits another human being, it's never the owner's fault, it's always the dog's fault?
No,
Every,
I generally think it's the owner's fault.
yeah, yeah, I think so too, but everybody blames the dog.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, it's kind of the same thing. You know, you have. It's much easier to blame somebody else for doing something bad. You need that fall guy for if you want to do bad in this world. You know, and the funny thing is that dog is trying to protect you, and you blaming it. So
Yeah,
I see it the same way with America. Or any bigger place. It's not only America; it's also China. It's also Russia. The way they're doing things is just they just blame it away on each other. So the Russian and the Chinese blame America, and America blames the Russians and the Chinese, and it's very convenient that everybody got a scapegoat.
Well, thank you for sharing that, because I think there are quite a few Americans who carry this guilt for being, especially from my generation, for being hippies and rock and roll and living the good life and never thinking enough about what's really going on, not being conscious enough. I mean, that part of our youth was manufactured and designed to be that way. We were programmed to be that way, irresponsible to a large degree.
Yeah, and I don't think there's anything wrong with having a good time and being a little complacent. You just need to find that balance. The moment you get too complacent is where things all turn to shit. So I there is some things I see in the United States that I'm horrified by, and I don't see anywhere else. One of them is your medical system. It's insane. I didn't even know it was that bad until I was in it. When I was there, I every day I heard about another 100 substances that I didn't know existed. Every day, I have no idea what all these things are that you're pumping yourself with over there. And it's legal drugs. It's not the illegal drugs. Oh my God, don't get me started on the illegal drugs. That's terrifying,
Right.
So, yeah. And your tax system, and how little you actually demand for your tax money. You're kind of like, yeah, well, we just got to pay our taxes, but you don't really demand what you get for them.
Mm-hmm. It's that complacency.
So yeah, I do got Glenn behind you. So if you're done or you have more to say, yeah, you're welcome to stay while I put on Glenn, but it's up to you.
No, go ahead and let Glenn come on, and I can just relax and listen.
All right.
And
Let
thank you
go.
so much, Brian. Thank you.
Always. That's why we're here. Just pumping out that good vibe.
Okay. Take care.
Hey there, Glenn.
Hey, long time no talk, Brian. How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Actually, I'm doing really good these days.
Well, that's good, man. Just good.
Now I just have to be afraid of that complacency side of me. That's the biggest fear I got.
Yeah. Society in the United States has gone down the toilet bad. It's like I look around me and I see pot plants, legalized marijuana on every corner, stores everywhere. They got everyone all drinking tons of alcohol. The gambling casinos have popped up on every strip mall's a gambling casino now. It's terrible. Society is fucking gone. These people ain't got a clue. I can't believe that everyone goes with the flow here. Bad.
Yeah, it's
And like you said,
yeah,
you turn on TV here, and
Yeah.
every 5 minutes you'll see a drug commercial put on there. So like, what
I-
is these people doing?
I did that. I was at a motel one morning, and I just let it run. I had two news channels next to each other. It was the Fox and the CNN. They were like channel 19 and 20. And there were commercials all the time. So I kind of, when commercials was on one side, I'd switch on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
But there was commercial all the time, and all of a sudden I switched from one channel to the other channel, and the exact same commercial was there. So I was like, Come on.
Yeah, I don't even watch TV anymore. I got rid of it years ago.
I don't either. I
No.
just had this. I had a talk with a couple of guys over there about the news, and I had to see it for myself. So I
Hmm.
took this morning. I had an hour before I had to go, and I just turned on the news and laid on the bed and just listened to it, and it was. Well, the news was not that bad. It was just yap, 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 yap. Nothing really, they were talking more than they were giving news. So,
Hmm.
but the commercial side of it, oh my God, is horrifying.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's just people have just lost their minds out here. They are gone. And I think in order to the Great Reset, what you got to do here now is just kill your electric grid for 6 months and see who survives, because most people out there are not going to survive. These people are just glued to their phones, glued to their TVs, and just they don't know how to live. You know.
Yeah, I don't think they're gonna do that. Actually, I don't.
I do. I think that's coming real fast. The banks already collapsed. These people, I always look at this. I work all the time. Me and my wife are very hardworking people. I just
Mm,
put my youngest in college, just left the other day to college. And it costs a lot of money to put him through college and get indoctrinated. But what do? You live in this system, and my other two are doing pretty good.
mm.
So I got to put them give them a chance, But um, I look at these people around and how can they go gamble all day, drink all day, smoke drugs and do drugs all day long? Where's all this money coming from? I work and my wife works. We couldn't afford to do that shit. So,
Yeah.
so the banking system's ready to collapse as it is. The banking system is.
Oh,
So,
I think that's gonna go. Yeah,
yeah.
for sure.
But I think once the banking system goes, and I watch videos out there of people's electric bills and stuff, they're paying $1,100 a month electric and more than their mortgages. Like, the powers that be are just making everyone go bankrupt. I think. So once that collapses, your power is going to be off. I think that's what I think. The whole reset's going to be a power outage for a while, and the banks are going to collapse. You can't trust a digital currency because everywhere you look, they're hacking into this and hacking into that, right?
Yeah, but I think the system is there for them. They don't want to turn that shit off for too long.
Oh, okay.
I don't
And what
think they
and,
will. I
and
don't
what
think they will do that for 6 months. They will lose us. They will lose all the things they've been working on for the last how many. That's why they pump out all this fear mongering and shit in the news. It's been nothing but fear mongering since at least 2020.
Mhm.
One thing is overlapping the other thing, and you have all this attention. They don't want you to stop and think for yourself right now, because if you did, you'll find out that there's something changed in this ether we have around us.
Mhm.
So they need to keep us occupied. If they turn that shit off for 6 months,
Yep.
people are gonna start asking questions. And
Well, I don't think the people that trying to get rid of are the people that don't do anything anyways. You know what I mean? Like I'd
well,
say
they might if you turn off
70
the propaganda.
70% of the people, if not higher, are living off the system, like just in handouts. You know what I mean? I think there's 30% of the people actually
Mm,
do something and work and make their own money. I think 70% of the people are living off of I don't know what. You know.
yeah, yeah. And I did see a lot of poor people in the United States, and that was a kind of a big thing too.
Hmm.
I saw a lot of poor people. We don't have that many poor people. We have people below poverty line, but not, that poor. You know,
Right. Living in the streets in 10 cities and shit. Yep.
yeah, not even that. I'm also just talking about those who do two jobs to have a shitty apartment.
Hmm.
That those people, they're working 60 hours a week just to make a living, and that's just insane to me.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
those who make it, those who refuse to be on the streets, are pushed in corners where, yeah, where poverty is taking over their life.
Right. And there's no governing anything out there anymore. Like your cost for your water and your cost for your power. It's just the powers that be doesn't put restrictions on them gouging everybody. You know, there's no overseer anymore to anything out that's going on out there. None.
No.
No.
And yeah, and I also think there's the complacency side again. I think there's a lack of pushing that notion, you know. As I said earlier, I think there's a lot of Americans. I'm not saying it's everybody, but I've been over a lot of America. I've been in 14 states and 20 cities within the last 2 years, you know. And what I saw all over, is that you have a lot of people who don't care about the bigger picture.
Right.
They only care about their own little pocket, you know. So as long as you do that, you're gonna get that.
Yeah, Annette, I see that too. Yeah, they keep changing the retirement age on you. Yeah, same here, Annette. I'm in the same category you are too. I mean, yeah, you could draw it now, but your retirement pay wouldn't even cover the property taxes that they've evaluated your house at. You know what I mean? So they made it so you're chasing a ball that you're never going to catch down the road. That's what they're basically doing now. They're trying to take all the seniors' housing and shit like that you've worked for your whole life by valuating it really high and making the property taxes where you couldn't even pay the bill on it. It's crazy.
Well, you can just buy a new ball.
Yeah.
Really, that's the American way. If the ball is too far away, I just buy a new ball. My ball. Yeah. Sorry if I offend any Americans. I don't intend to. I actually also love a lot about your country, so it's not all bad.
Yeah, what was I going to say? The people out there, the food is expensive, right, out there for now. Like I said, I don't see a lot of people out there shopping anymore. Like if we go to the home improvement stores and stuff, no one's in there buying anything to work on their houses. Nothing. They're dead. The economy is really bad out there right now. Yep.
Yeah.
At least it is here in Boston. It's really terrible in Boston here. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't been to Boston, so I can't tell about that. But I know you have a lot of poor areas there as well in the South, I guess. So, but that's definitely a place I'm going to visit sometime, you know.
Yep.
There's a couple of cities I haven't been to that I like to go to, especially because of that. Boston and Phoenix.
Well, if you went to Phoenix lately, you just missed that big sandstorm they had come in there, right? Arizona. They had that biblical sandstorm come in there out of nowhere and wiped out this big music festival they had. Did you see that?
Oh, the Burning Man?
Yeah. Did you see how that storm?
I didn't. No, I didn't. I just know it.
Yeah, the storm came out of nowhere and just first it buried them in sand, then it changed to rain and made it all mud. So it shows you the powers that be can do anything they want on a dime.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a lot of things we don't know about.
Oh, yeah.
But that's the whole point. I don't want to be rude, but I have to get to work soon, Glenn. So I'll be wrapping it up in 5 or 10 minutes. So
okay, well, take care, my friend.
Yeah, you too.
Okay, bye.
Good to see you.
Yep.
I hope you're doing well.
Yep, no problem. Bye.
Bye. So yeah, that is gonna be it for today. So what have we talked about today? We talked about the ether, you know, and to sum that up, I wanna say that the responsibility for you is in your court. I say stop looking for answers and solutions in the reality that you see out there. What You have to create it yourself. You have to own that you are the architect of your reality. And if you start seeing it that way, you'll find out that you can actually change a lot of things in your reality as long as you are true to it. Don't base that on false information. Don't create reality on information that's not really yours, because that's why you get in trouble. So that's kind of the thing I want to get across, is that if you don't believe in it, it's not going to come your way. Even if though you think you might believe in it. So look yourself in the mirror every day. Get up. And when I say look in the mirror, I don't mean standing in the bathroom looking yourself in the mirror. That's not what I mean. What I do is I take a cup of coffee in the morning and I sit here at this table right here and I have a cup of coffee and I think about the day I had yesterday and I think about the day I'm going to have today and how I can do better, and where I went wrong and what I did yesterday that was good that I want to bring back today. That's what I mean when I say look yourself in the mirror. Keep yourself in check. Because if you don't, in this world, with all this nonsense and disinformation, it will swallow you up. You need to exercise that like a muscle every day. Be aware of yourself. Be aware of how you interact with people around you. Because if you do that, you are able to create a reality worth living. And on the other side, stop fearing everything that's out there, And yes, there are a lot of scary shit out there. But if you start thinking about that, you manifest scary things as well. It's not only good things you can manifest. You can manifest all the bad shit too. If you start thinking about, oh no, I think I'm going to be in trouble at work today. They're going to yell at me and I'm going to, and all of a sudden, that's what happens. Instead of saying, you know what, it's going to be all right. I'm just going to go out there. I'm going to take it as it comes. So that is my message today. Treat people like you want to treat yourself. Treat yourself like you treat other people. It's a yin and yang thing. Find the balance within. And yeah, that's it. And on that note, I'm gonna play a piece of music that some people has misunderstood. They thought I was gloom and gloom when I wrote this piece of music, but actually that piece of music is written for that exact reason that we've been talking about today. So I hope you listen to it again and just understand that this is written in a positive note. How do I do that? There we go. Problem is, I don't know which one is. That's not it. There we go. That is it. And on that note, I need to go to work and I need to reflect my way through society as I usually do. And it's benefit me greatly. Just think, if you find that pocket I'm talking about where you can start living a life worth living, just remember the devil is just around the corner. So keep your eyes out, And that's it for me today. I am Mr. Copenhagen, aka Rebel TV, aka Polar Bear, signing off. See you on the flip side. Peace.
smoke in the air, shadows on the ground. Cities crumble with a deafening sound. Rivers run dry, tears fill the sea. Is this the end, or where we're meant to be?
From ashes we rise, like the phoenix we fly. Darkness and light dance in the sky. Break it to build, let the new world begin. Balance and chaos, yin and yang within.
Whispers of hope linger in the haze. Lost in the ruins, counting the days. Broken mirrors show fractured skies, but in the shards, our courage lies.
From ashes we rise, like the phoenix we fly. Darkness and light dance in the sky. Break it to build, let the new world begin. Balance and chaos, yin and yang within.
The earth may shake, but we will stand tall. Through every fall, we answer the call. Hearts unbroken, still in our veins. We turn the wreckage into our domain.
From ashes we rise, like the phoenix we fly. Darkness and light dance in the sky. Break it to build, let the new world begin. Balance and chaos, yin and yang within.
I was down for such a long time, even though in my prime, no balance, I lost my way. I was caught up in my headspace, couldn't look at my face, found it hard to face it every day. I was trapped inside my ego, didn't care where we go. When we died, didn't try. I was shackled by my fear, which grew larger every year. Cold and alone, the tears I cry. Well, I'm ready to shine, yeah, I'm ready. I feel that it's time, well, I'm rising. It's time to stand tall, yeah, I'm rising, rising for one and all. I no longer stay down, I'm trapped like a clown.